Episode 9. Desperate to find Kader, Zeynep rushes to Erkan and Tulay's home but discovers they have already disappeared. She then goes to her parents' house, hoping Kader has somehow been brought there. Rifika tells her they have not seen the child. Shortly afterward, Serhat arrives and is warmly welcomed by Zeynep's parents, Arif and Rifika, who invite him inside for tea and homemade desserts despite the crisis. Meanwhile, Azra goes to a beauty salon. Before she can explain what she wants, the stylist tells her that Sihan has already called ahead, selected the exact hair color and even sent a reference photo. Humiliated by her husband's need to control every detail of her appearance, Azra refuses to dye her hair. At that moment, she secretly contacts Serhat and reveals the truth. She overheard Sihan arranging Kader's kidnapping and learned they were heading toward Hendik. Shocked by the revelation, Serhat thanks Azra for the information and immediately sets off to rescue Kader. As Serhat and Zeynep race toward Hendik, Zeynep admits she had been terrified that Serhat might secretly want Kader gone because the little girl constantly reminds him of Barak's betrayal. Serhat tells her that if he truly wanted to return Kader to her abusive family, he would have done so long ago. He confesses that seeing Kader reminds him of Barak's infidelity, but Zeynep gently encourages him to stop seeing Barak whenever he looks at Kader and instead see only an innocent child who deserves love and protection. While driving, Zeynep suddenly spots an orange car similar to Erkan's, but it turns out to belong to someone else, leaving them disappointed. After learning that Azra betrayed him by informing Serhat, Sihan picks her up from the salon. Calm but threatening, he tells her that she disobeyed him by interfering in his plans. He says he will forgive her this time but warns that it must never happen again. Meanwhile, Erkan and Tulay stop at a roadside restaurant for food, leaving Kader locked inside the car. At last, Serhat and Zeynep locate the vehicle. Through the window, Kader tearfully begs them to rescue her. Serhat realizes the doors are locked and tells Zeynep he will find the keys while she stays with Kader. Zeynep comforts the frightened child, promising that they are there now and will not leave without taking her home. At the restaurant where Tulay and Erkan have stopped to eat, Serhat tracks them down. Without saying a word, he grabs Erkan by the collar, drags him outside and slams him against a wall, demanding to know if he is Kader's adoptive father. Terrified, Erkan struggles to answer while Tulay quietly slips away. Furious, Serhat asks Erkan how he could ever lay his hands on an innocent little girl. Erkan insists that he never harmed Kader and claims that if she was ever abused, it must have been Tulay. Serhat slams him against the wall again before asking whether Barak handed Kader over to them immediately after giving birth. Erkan explains that Barak said she could not raise the baby and that he and Tulay accepted Kader into their home. Refusing to listen to any excuses, Serhat orders him to be quiet and sit down. He then offers Erkan a deal. He will continue paying the money that Barak had been giving them, but in return they must withdraw their complaint and never go anywhere near Kader again. Serhat demands Erkan's car keys. As Erkan hands them over, Serhat asks if that is his dominant hand. When Erkan says yes, Serhat remembers Zeynep telling him how Erkan painfully squeezed her wrist while kidnapping Kader. Overcome with anger, Serhat grabs Erkan's arm and painfully twists it, reminding him that it was with that very hand that he beat Kader and hurt Zeynep. Meanwhile, in the car park, Zeynep confronts Tulay. Grabbing her by the hair, she calls her shameless and vows to show her what it feels like to steal a child from someone. Tulay begs her to let go, but Zeynep refuses until she sees Serhat opening the car door. She immediately rushes to Kader, who throws herself into Zeynep's arms and tearfully says she knew Zeynep would never leave her behind. Zeynep comforts the frightened child and tells her that Serhat searched everywhere for her too. Kader sincerely thanks Serhat for rescuing her. Tulay angrily tells Erkan to call the police because they are taking Kader away, but Erkan calmly tells her that he has already reached an agreement with Serhat. Before leaving, Zeynep thanks Serhat for everything he has done. Serhat simply reminds her that he promised he would never leave Kader with those people and that he always keeps his promises. Back at Serhat's house, Sedef makes another effort to build a relationship with Hayal and Ilkem. She surprises them with a rare photograph of their late mother, Barak, taken during her bachelorette party. Although the girls appreciate the thoughtful gift, there is still some distance between them and Sedef. She suggests displaying the photograph in the living room so everyone, especially their father, can continue to cherish Barak's memory. Later, Sedef privately confronts Hayal after discovering that she deliberately tampered with Ilkem's shampoo. Instead of exposing her, Sedef gently tells Hayal that she is not trying to replace her mother or create problems between the sisters. She explains that Barak was once her closest friend and that she hopes to earn the girls' trust and eventually build the same loving relationship with them that she shared with their mother. Elsewhere, Ebru is checking her phone when Azra and Sihan arrive home. Azra is surprised to find Ebru cleaning the house. Ebru proudly tells them the house is spotless. Sihan thanks her and offers her money, but she politely declines, explaining that Sevim has already paid her. Ebru offers them coffee, but Azra refuses. Sihan simply asks for a glass of water, making it clear that it should not be cold. After he finishes drinking, Ebru secretly keeps the glass, hoping to use it to obtain Sihan's DNA. Before leaving, she deliberately tells Azra that she accidentally dropped and broke the glass and even offers to pay for it. Azra tells her not to worry, thanks her for all her hard work and asks whether she can continue cleaning every Saturday. Ebru politely declines and leaves. After Ebru leaves, Azra tells Sihan about the broken glass and comments that Ebru is a kind-hearted girl, very much like her sister Zeynep. Surprised, Sihan asks what connection Ebru has with Zeynep. Azra reveals that they are sisters. Sihan wonders why she never mentioned it before, but before the conversation can continue, someone knocks on the door. Azra opens the door to find Serhat standing outside. He asks whether Sihan is home and assures Azra that he will not reveal she was the one who informed him about Kader's kidnapping. Once inside, Serhat confronts Sihan, reminding him that he specifically asked him not to interfere in his decisions. He demands to know why Sihan secretly arranged for Kader to be taken away. Sihan admits that perhaps he went too far but insists he was only trying to help Serhat get rid of Kader. Serhat firmly warns his brother never to go behind his back again. As Serhat prepares to leave, Sihan asks how he managed to find Erkan and Tulay. Serhat lies, saying that the neighbors told him they were heading to Hendik. Sihan accepts the explanation. After Serhat leaves, Sihan unexpectedly suggests taking Azra to visit her mother since they have not seen her in a long time. Azra quietly thanks him. While going in a taxi, Ebru calls her friend Aka, who works in a medical laboratory, to ask whether the clinic performs DNA tests. Aka confirms that they do. Ebru has a flashback of when she secretly collected Sihan's drinking glass determined to uncover the identity of Kader's biological father. Still searching for answers, Serhat later questions Tulay about Kader's past. He asks how Barak first contacted them. Tulay explains that Barak obtained Erkan's phone number through someone else before arranging a meeting. During that meeting, Barak offered to pay all of Kader's expenses for life if they agreed to adopt the baby. Since they desperately needed money, they accepted. Serhat asks whether Barak ever came back to visit her daughter. Tulay says that after leaving Kader with them, Barak disappeared completely and they never saw or heard from her again. Serhat then reveals that 2 years earlier Erkan transferred 1 lira into Barak's bank account with the message, "Increase the amount." He demands to know how Barak managed to keep them silent for so many years. Tulay explains that it was not Barak who frightened them, it was Kader's biological father. She recalls that one night armed men stopped Erkan on the road, pointed a gun at his head and warned him never to go near Kader or her mother again because Kader's father would deal with them himself. When Serhat asks who Kader's father is, Tulay admits she has no idea. Serhat vows that sooner or later he will discover the truth. Meanwhile, Sihan accompanies Azra to visit her mother. What begins as a simple family visit quickly turns into a nightmare. In front of Azra's own mother, Sihan cruelly exposes the truth about the fatal accident years earlier, accusing Azra of causing the accident and allowing his brother, Kan, to go to prison in her place. He reveals that he possesses evidence proving exactly what happened and tells Azra that he knows she betrayed him by informing Serhat about Kader's kidnapping. Sihan threatens to hand the evidence over to the police if she ever betrays him again. The situation becomes even more heartbreaking when Azra's mother, whose memory has deteriorated badly, fails to recognize her own daughter and asks her to leave the house. Devastated, Azra promises Sihan that she will never betray him again. Later that evening, Serhat and Zainab share a peaceful conversation in the garden while tending to the flowers and discussing medicinal plants. During their conversation, Zainab reveals that she is actually a qualified literature teacher who never received a government teaching appointment. Instead, she gave up her dream of teaching in order to support her family by working at a flower stall. Serhat is surprised to discover this side of her and admires her sacrifice and determination. Zainab explains that if she is ever appointed to teach anywhere in the country, she will leave immediately. Serhat quietly tells her that she cannot leave until Kader's biological father has finally been found. Zainab then asks him what he intends to do if his wife never wakes from her coma and whether he plans to keep all of his secrets from his daughters forever. Unable to answer, Serhat simply wishes her good night and walks away, unaware that Hayal has been secretly watching the entire conversation. Elsewhere, Sihan receives a message that Ebru wants to meet him at a restaurant. When he arrives, Ebru casually comments that the breakfast is excellent. Sihan jokingly points out that it is also very expensive and wonders how she intends to pay for it. Ebru confidently replies that money is no longer a problem for her. She then shocks him by revealing that she is convinced he is Kader's biological father. Showing a sealed laboratory envelope, Ebru explains that she secretly collected the glass Sihan drank from, obtained strands of Kader's hair and submitted both samples for DNA testing. She tells Sihan she is so certain of the outcome that she has not even opened the envelope. We see Ebru finally opening the DNA results and beginning to read them. Hayal enters Serhat's office carrying a bundle of old letters. She tells her father that she has read every single one of them and demands to know why he kept the truth hidden from her for so long, leaving Serhat stunned. Episode 10. Later that evening, Serhat and Zainab share a peaceful conversation in the garden while tending to the flowers and discussing medicinal plants. During their conversation, Zainab reveals that she is actually a qualified literature teacher who never received a government teaching appointment. Instead, she gave up her dream of teaching in order to support her family by working at a flower stall. Serhat is surprised to discover this side of her and admires her sacrifice and determination. Zainab explains that if she is ever appointed to teach anywhere in the country, she will leave immediately. Serhat quietly tells her that she cannot leave until Kader's biological father has finally been found. Zainab then asks him what he intends to do if his wife never wakes from her coma and whether he plans to keep all of his secrets from his daughters forever. Unable to answer, Serhat simply wishes her good night and walks away, unaware that Hayal has been secretly watching the entire conversation. Elsewhere, Sihan receives a message that Ebru wants to meet him at a restaurant. When he arrives, Ebru casually comments that the breakfast is excellent. Sihan jokingly points out that it is also very expensive and wonders how she intends to pay for it. Ebru confidently replies that money is no longer a problem for her. She then shocks him by revealing that she is convinced he is Kater's biological father. Showing a sealed laboratory envelope, Ebru explains that she secretly collected the glass Sihan drank from, obtained strands of Kater's hair and submitted both samples for DNA testing. She tells Sihan she is so certain of the outcome that she has not even opened the envelope. We see Ebru finally opening the DNA results and beginning to read them. Hyle enters Serhat's office carrying a bundle of old letters. She tells her father that she has read every single one of them and demands to know why he kept the truth hidden from her for so long, leaving Serhat stunned. Hyle storms into Serhat's office instead of going to school. Concerned, Serhat asks why she isn't in class and whether she is feeling unwell. Hyle reveals that she secretly read the letters Barak wrote before falling into her coma. She confronts Serhat, demanding to know how he could hide such a painful secret from them. When Serhat asks how many letters she read, Hyle replies that she read enough to figure everything out. Holding one of the letters, she tearfully accuses him, convinced that Barak cheated on him. Meanwhile, at the restaurant, Ebru finally opens the DNA test results in front of Sihan. To her shock, the report confirms that Sihan and Kater have no biological relationship. Sihan asks if that means he is not Kater's father, then snatches the results from her hands. Furious, he orders Ebru to call Zainab immediately and tell her that he is not Kater's father and that her supposed plan to blackmail him has failed. Ebru insists that Zainab knows nothing about the DNA test, but Sihan refuses to listen and walks away. Left alone, Ebru panics, wondering what she has done. Back at the office, Hyle's emotions overwhelm her. Still convinced that Barak betrayed Serhat, she begins struggling to breathe. Serhat quickly calms her down and asks Burst to call a doctor. The doctor later confirms that Hyle suffered a panic attack brought on by severe emotional stress. He advises Serhat to keep Hyle away from stress and sadness and recommends professional psychological support. Serhat promises to do everything he can to help his daughter recover. Overwhelmed with guilt, Ebru blames herself for confronting Sihan before reading the DNA results. Just then, Zainab calls, angrily scolding her for disappearing without a word and calling her irresponsible and thoughtless. In her panic, Ebru accidentally blurts out that she never expected the results to turn out this way because she was certain Sihan was Kater's father. A confused Zainab demands to know what she is talking about, reminding her that they have been waiting for her since morning. Realizing her mistake, Ebru apologizes repeatedly, promising she will never do such a thing again, but Zainab coldly tells her that her apologies are meaningless. Later, Sihan shows Serhat the DNA results and reveals that Zainab secretly had him tested because she believed he was Kater's biological father. Serhat refuses to believe Zainab would do something like that, but Sihan claims that Ebru proudly opened the envelope in front of him and that both sisters were convinced he had an affair with Barak. He argues that if the test had confirmed he was Kater's father, they would have blackmailed him for money. Sihan even praises his mother, Savim, for correctly judging Zainab's intentions the very first time they met. Serhat cannot help remembering the day Zainab demanded 800,000 lira to work as Kater's nanny. Sihan then reveals another shocking secret. On Hyle's birthday, Zainab discovered Barak's hidden phone and called it, only for someone inside their house to answer. Furious that he is only hearing about this now, Serhat demands the whole truth. Sihan explains that he kept quiet because he feared Serhat would react recklessly. He also reveals that he secretly collected DNA samples from everyone who was in the house that day, but every test came back negative. According to him, the mysterious phone belonged to Medan, who later blackmailed Barak after discovering her secret. He insists that Medan has no idea who Kater's real father is and claims he only covered everything up to protect Serhat. Before Serhat can say another word, Khan interrupts, having heard them arguing in the hallway. Without another word, Serhat leaves. He immediately calls Zainab, ordering her to leave the house because he wants to see her at once. When she tells him she is with her mother at the flower shop, Serhat demands that she send him the location. Determined to uncover the truth, Serhat confronts Zainab at the flower shop. He accuses her of hiding Barak's secret phone from him. Zainab explains that she intended to tell him, but Sihan insisted on investigating first before informing him. Serhat then accuses her of secretly arranging a DNA test to blackmail Sihan. Completely confused, Zainab asks what he is talking about. Serhat bitterly asks whether the 800,000 lira he gave her was not enough and says that if she had needed more money, she only had to ask. He reminds her that when Sevim called her a gold digger, he defended her, only to feel betrayed now. Zainab firmly denies being after anyone's money. Serhat insists that if Sihan had turned out to be Kader's father, she would have hidden the truth and used it to extort him. Shocked, Zainab asks what Sihan has to do with Kader. Serhat reveals that Ebru secretly collected Sihan's DNA while working as a cleaner in their home and showed him the test results that very morning. Zainab is stunned and swears she knew nothing about it. But Serhat, his trust in women completely shattered by Barak's betrayal, refuses to believe her. Hurt by his words, Zainab asks him not to compare her to his immoral wife. She tells him to believe whatever he wants because she no longer cares. Although she wants him to fire her, she promises to continue caring for Kader until her biological father is found. Back home, Zainab confronts Ebru, who finally admits that she secretly collected Sihan's DNA because she truly believed he was Kader's father. She insists she only wanted Kader to know the truth and had no bad intentions. Zainab angrily tells her to stop lying, accusing her of caring more about money than about Kader. Ebru shamelessly admits she saw an opportunity to make money and took it, asking what was wrong with that. Heartbroken, Zainab tells her sister that because of her greed, she has been humiliated and now looks like a blackmailer in Serhat's eyes. When Ebru asks why she cares so much about Serhat's opinion and even suggests that she is in love with him, adding that there would be no obstacle if his wife died, Zainab loses control and slaps her across the face. Calling her shameless, Zainab reminds her that Serhat had already helped them financially before, yet her greed has ruined everything. Tulay arrives and tries to intervene, but Zainab tells her to stay out of it. Before leaving, she warns Ebru to stay away from Serhat and his family. Still upset, Zainab calls Sihan and demands to know why he told Serhat about Barak's secret phone. Sihan casually replies that he already explained everything to Serhat, including that Medan, not him, was the one who contacted Barak, and that Serhat believed him. As far as he is concerned, the matter is finished. Elsewhere, Serhat confronts Medan. Reminding him of the many years they spent as friends, Serhat violently attacks him, accusing him of using the money Barak gave him to build his business. After throwing him to the ground, Serhat tosses money at him and bitterly tells him to return it to Barak when she wakes up. Zainab arrives just in time to witness the aftermath and calls out to Serhat, but he ignores her and walks away. Once Serhat is gone, Medan angrily blames Sihan for dragging him into the mess and threatens to tell Serhat that he was never the owner of Barak's secret phone if Serhat comes back. Sihan warns him against it, reminding him that if the real owner of the phone is exposed, that person will come after him. Confidently, Sihan assures him that Serhat will never return. At the hospital, Hayal sits beside her unconscious mother, apologizing through tears for believing the worst about her. She promises that when Barak wakes up, she will do everything possible to earn her forgiveness. Watching quietly from the doorway, Serhat wishes he could finally tell his daughters the truth without destroying them. Episode 11. Back home, Sihan continues controlling every aspect of Azra's life. After criticizing her appearance, He cruelly tells her she should undergo breast surgery so she can become the perfect wife. Although deeply hurt, Azra quietly endures the humiliation as Sihan promises to arrange an appointment with the best plastic surgeon. Meanwhile, Hyle and Ilkum happily dress Kader up like a little princess, delighting in seeing her smile. When Serhat and Zainab arrive home, Serhat quietly pulls Zainab aside and warns her not to let Kader become too attached to his daughters. He fears that when the truth about Kader's identity is finally revealed, everyone will be hurt. Later, Zainab finds Azra crying alone. Worried, she offers to call Sihan, but Azra quickly stops her. Zainab gently asks if something is wrong and whether she can help. Fighting back tears, Azra quietly replies that no one can help her. Before Zainab can ask anything else, Sihan calls for Azra. Wiping away her tears, Azra asks Zainab not to tell anyone she saw her like this before walking away. Kader finds Serhat in the hallway while holding one of her new dresses. Afraid she will be scolded, she tells him she will return it. Instead, Serhat reassures her that the dress belongs to her and tells her it looks beautiful on her. Kader thanks him and asks him not to be angry with sister Zainab. Serhat smiles and promises he will not. Ebru arrives at the mansion to apologize. Zainab coldly asks if she has come to blackmail someone again. Hurt by the accusation, Ebru asks if Zainab really believes she is that kind of person. Zainab admits she no longer recognizes her sister after everything that happened and says Ebru humiliated her and put her in an impossible situation. Tearfully, Ebru apologizes for secretly collecting Sihan's DNA, explaining that she believed she had found an opportunity. Zainab reminds her that Kader is not an opportunity and says she only accepted the nanny job to help discover Kader's real father before returning home. She also confesses how much it hurt that Serhat now sees her as a gold digger. Filled with regret, Ebru apologizes once again, and the sisters finally reconcile with an emotional embrace. As Ebru prepares to leave, Zainab insists she should not take a minibus so late at night and offers to pay for a taxi. Ebru admits she has no money because she spent it all on the DNA test. While searching for her wallet, Zainab runs into Serhat, who learns Ebru has come to apologize. Serhat immediately offers to have his driver take her home, but Zainab refuses, reminding him that she only asked him for 800,000 lira once and he continues to hold it against her. Serhat insists the driver will take Ebru anyway, bringing the discussion to an end. Meanwhile, Hyle secretly receives a package containing a weight loss supplement. Believing it will help her lose weight so Ilkum will never call her weak again, she quickly hides it when Zainab arrives. She lies that she only ordered makeup and shows her blush and lipstick instead. Concerned that Hyle has skipped breakfast again, Zainab urges her to eat before school, but Hyle insists she is not hungry. At the mansion, Savim asks a servant to bring one of Barak's perfumes after reading that familiar scents can help stimulate intensive care patients. She plans to spray it in Barak's room. Zainab welcomes her, and Savim reminds her that welcome is only for strangers. Zainab apologizes before asking how Azra is doing. Savim insists everyone in the family is perfectly fine apart from Barak's accident and tells Zainab to stop looking for problems where there are none. Zainab replies that she is not looking for trouble but advises Savim to keep her eyes open because not everything is as perfect as it seems. Ebru later visits the hotel to personally apologize to Serhat. She explains that Zainab knew nothing about the DNA test and would never have allowed it if she had known. Ebru also defends her sister, insisting she is not a gold digger. She reveals that the 800,000 lira Serhat lent Zainab was used to pay off debts left behind by her ex-boyfriend and that Zainab never kept a single lira for herself because she wanted to protect their parents from worrying. Although she even offers to show him the loan documents, Serhat tells her it is unnecessary. He simply asks Ebru never to put Zeynep in such a difficult position again if she truly cares about her. After she leaves, Serhat cancels all his meetings for the day and decides to work from home. Elsewhere, Sevim warns Azra to keep a close eye on Sihan because many women would happily steal him away if she is not careful. Azra quietly agrees, hiding the emotional pain she continues to endure. As Ebru walks home, Sihan offers her a ride. Curious, he asks why she attempted to blackmail him without even opening the DNA results first. Ebru admits she thought she had found the opportunity of a lifetime to change her future, but everything fell apart. When Sihan asks how far she would go to become rich, she honestly replies, "As far as it takes." Impressed by her determination, Sihan advises her never to give up on her dreams and unexpectedly offers her a job as a receptionist at the hotel. Later, Serhat apologizes to Zeynep for accusing her of being a gold digger after learning the truth from Ebru. Zeynep once again makes it clear that she never sent her sister to collect Sihan's DNA and reminds Serhat that trust and honesty are the foundations of every relationship. Their conversation is interrupted when a mysterious motorcyclist leaves a photograph on Serhat's car. Serhat immediately chases after him, ignoring Zeynep's pleas to slow down, but loses him in traffic. Looking at the photograph, Serhat realizes it shows Barak while she was pregnant with Kader. Zeynep sees the name of a cafe in the background and quickly locates it on a map. Together, they rush there hoping to uncover another clue. At the cafe, the owner tells Serhat that the photograph was taken 6 years earlier and he cannot remember Barak because the waiters have changed many times since then. He explains that he is the only employee who has remained there all these years. Serhat realizes that Barak's former lover deliberately sent him the photograph to mock him, but vows he will never stop searching until he uncovers the truth. Episode 12. Back home, Ebru excitedly tells Rifika that Sihan has offered her a job at the hotel. Rifika is surprised and asks how Sihan knows her. Ebru explains that after she cleaned his house, he was impressed with her work and offered her the receptionist position. Rifika happily congratulates her and reminds her to always defend Zeynep if anyone speaks badly about her. While Kader is playing outside, Erkan and Tulay arrive carrying her old clothes and toys. Kader immediately calls for Zeynep. Serhat orders the couple to leave, while Zeynep notices many of the clothes still have their price tags attached. Erkan casually explains that Kader never wore the same outfit twice. Furious, Serhat accuses them of pretending to care after years of neglecting and abusing the little girl, reminding them that Kader often arrived covered in bruises. Realizing they have no right to her anymore, Erkan returns all the money Serhat had given them for Kader's care. Serhat accepts the money and sends them away. Watching the exchange, Sevim quietly remarks that she hopes Barak wakes up soon. Meanwhile, Sihan reminds Azra that her cosmetic surgery is scheduled for the following day. When Sevim asks what surgery he is referring to, Sihan lies that Azra insisted on getting breast implants and that he reluctantly agreed because he can never refuse his wife. Sevim tells Azra she does not need any surgery. Once they are alone, Azra confronts Sihan, asking why he lied. He explains he could not admit in front of his mother that the idea was his because it would have embarrassed him. Azra desperately pleads with him to cancel the procedure, insisting she does not want breast implants. Sihan cruelly reminds her that she appeared to agree the night before and admits he wants a wife with bigger breasts. Heartbroken, Azra tells him to find someone else with that quality because she is exhausted by his constant attempts to change her. Zeynep later learns from her mother that Sihan has offered Ebru a job. She immediately calls her sister and orders her to reject it. Zeynep cannot understand why a man Ebru tried to blackmail only a day earlier would suddenly offer her employment and warns that Sihan is clearly planning something. She begs Ebru to stay away from the Tekrar family because none of them are normal. Finally, Sihan tells Serhat that he hired Ebru. When Serhat questions his decision, Sihan explains that, just as Serhat hired Zainab to keep an eye on her, he hired Ebru so she would remain under his watch as well. He reminds Serhat that after their father abandoned them, he was the one who rebuilt the family from nothing. Serhat wonders whether their father is even still alive. Sihan believes he is probably dead, but says if that were true, they would have heard about it by now. Reflecting on their painful childhood, Sihan says he is determined to make sure his daughters never feel ashamed or angry when they remember who their parents were. Zainab starts the morning by serving Kader breakfast and encouraging her to finish everything on her plate. When Hayal and Ilkum join them, both girls ignore her cheerful, "Good morning." Refusing to serve anyone with bad manners, Zainab playfully insists they greet her properly before receiving their breakfast. Hayal eventually gives in, followed by Ilkum. When Serhat comes downstairs asking for his coffee, Zainab does the same with him. Confused, Serhat asks what she is doing, but Hayal laughs and explains that Zainab is making everyone say, "Good morning," before getting anything. Serhat finally greets her, and she hands him his coffee. Their conversation soon turns serious. Zainab reveals that she spoke to her mother and discovered Sihan has offered Ebru a job at the hotel. Serhat says he already knows, and that Ebru accepted the offer. Shocked, Zainab asks why Sihan would hire someone who tried to blackmail him. Serhat believes Sihan only wants to keep Ebru close so she won't reveal Barak's secret. Although Zainab insists Ebru would never betray them again, Serhat reminds her that money has already driven Ebru to make terrible decisions once before. He asks who else knows the truth about Barak, and Zainab says only her family. Serhat then wonders if Mustafa might also use that information for his own benefit someday. Hurt by his distrust, Zainab defends her brother, insisting Mustafa is an honorable man. Serhat replies that the people we trust the most are often the ones who disappoint us, leaving Zainab deeply hurt as she walks away. Meanwhile, at the hotel, Sadef discusses new promotional ideas with Serhat. She suggests inviting well-known international travel writers to experience the hotel before its grand opening, hoping they will publish glowing reviews. Serhat likes the proposal, but when Sadef asks him to continue discussing the plans over dinner, he declines, explaining that he already has plans with his daughters. She quickly settles for lunch instead, and he agrees. Watching the conversation from a distance, Ebru cannot help noticing how close Sadef seems to Serhat. Back at the mansion, Hayal entertains everyone by playing the piano while Zainab and Kader proudly watch. Ilkum suddenly discovers an old photograph of Barak while she was pregnant with Kader. Ilkum thinks the photo was taken when Hayal was on the way. Hayal tells her that their mum had short hair when she was pregnant with her. Hayal assumes it must have been taken while Barak was expecting Ilkum, but Ilkum insists she remembers things differently as their mum didn't have that hair when she was expecting her. Thinking there may be more answers, she goes searching through the family photo albums. Trying to calm the situation, Zainab tells her that Barak may simply have styled her hair differently. She then encourages Ilkum to focus on Hayal's performance instead. After Hayal finishes beautifully, everyone applauds. Zainab praises her, saying she is certain she will become a famous pianist one day. Those words trigger a painful memory for Ilkum. She remembers Barak once praising Hayal's talent and predicting she would become a world-famous pianist, while dismissing Ilkum as nothing more than Hayal's ordinary sister. The memory leaves Ilkum quietly wounded as Hayal excitedly announces that she has an important audition the following week and needs to practice even harder. Elsewhere, Sihan prepares to take Azra for plastic surgery he has arranged against her wishes. Despite Azra repeatedly begging him to change his mind, Sihan refuses to listen. When she refuses to get into the car, he grabs her arm and tries to force her inside. Mustafa happens to witness the confrontation and immediately steps in, asking Azra if she needs help. Sihan angrily orders him to mind his own business, but Mustafa refuses to walk away while a woman is being mistreated. As Sihan continues dragging Azra, she loses her balance and falls. Mustafa finally snaps, punching Sihan to the ground before helping Azra to her feet. Mustafa offers to take Azra wherever she wants to go. Shaken and emotional, she accepts the ride. Along the way, Mustafa gently tells her that she is safe now and offers to take her to her family. Azra quietly replies that she has no family left. Mustafa then invites her to stay temporarily with his own family, assuring her that his parents and younger sister would welcome her. Touched by such kindness after everything she has endured, Azra thanks him but apologizes in advance for the trouble she believes is coming. Mustafa cannot understand why she feels the need to apologize. Sevim prepares to visit Barak with Hayal and Ilkum. Kader excitedly asks if she can come too, but Sevim dismisses the idea, wondering why she should visit. Hayal also questions why Kader is so eager to see her mother. After Kader begs Hayal begs her grandmother. Sevim reluctantly agrees, although she complains that they hired a nanny precisely so they would not have to look after Kader themselves. Zainab later discovers that Kader has gone to the hospital with them. During lunch, Sadef continues discussing marketing plans with Serhat. She proudly reveals that the editor-in-chief of a prestigious travel magazine is a close friend and can feature the hotel as a unique destination rather than simply another luxury resort. Serhat compliments her excellent work. The conversation soon shifts to Barak's condition. Sadef bluntly remarks that perhaps it would be easier for everyone if Barak never woke up. Horrified, Serhat asks how she can say such a thing. Sadef explains that if Barak dies, he will never have to tell his daughters about her betrayal, but if she survives, he will eventually be forced to reveal the painful truth. When she asks whether he would remain married to Barak if she recovered, Serhat quietly admits that, in his heart, the marriage ended long ago. After he leaves the restaurant, Sadef smiles to herself, convinced that a new chapter in Serhat's life is about to begin. Meanwhile, the police arrest Mustafa for assaulting Sihan. Despite explaining that he was only protecting Azra, he learns that both Sihan and Azra have filed complaints against him. His parents panic, but Mustafa reassures them that everything will be cleared up once he gives his statement. Rifika immediately calls Zainab with the shocking news. Both Zainab and Serhat rush separately to the police station, where they meet Rifika and Erkan waiting anxiously outside. They soon discover that Sihan, Azra, and Mustafa are all giving statements. Inside, Azra shocks everyone by falsely claiming that Mustafa harassed her and attacked Sihan when her husband tried to defend her. Mustafa is devastated, insisting she is lying. Sihan blames Serhat for allowing these people into their lives, while Zainab fiercely defends her brother. She begs Azra to tell the truth, reminding her that Mustafa only wanted to help. Azra, however, repeats the false story exactly as Sihan instructed. Zainab insists to Serhat that Mustafa would never lie about something so serious. Serhat argues that Sihan and Azra have always seemed like a happy couple. Zainab finally reveals that she once found Azra secretly crying alone in the garden late at night and wanted to tell Sihan, but Azra begged her not to. She asks Serhat whether that sounds like the behavior of a happy woman. Serhat struggles to believe it. Zainab angrily tells him that he knows nothing about the people closest to him. Serhat asks her not to reopen the wounds left by Barak's betrayal. Zainab tells him she already did and that she is leaving the mansion this very night because she can no longer stay in a house that is built on lies and deception. Back at the hospital, Kader quietly enters into Barak's room while everyone else is distracted. Holding her mother's hand, she tells Barak that she still plays with the doll she gave her and begs her to wake up so they can hug again. As Kader embraces her, Barak's fingers suddenly twitch. Episode 13. As Kader embraces her, Barak's fingers suddenly twitch. Moments later, she slowly opens her eyes and softly whispers Kader's name. Overjoyed, Kader calls for help. A nurse rushes into the room, realizes Barak has regained consciousness, and immediately alerts the doctors. At the same time, a mysterious masked man arrives at Serhat's house under Tibet's orders to retrieve a hidden bag. Finding the house apparently empty, he locates the bag filled with cash. There is a flashback on when Barak had gotten the money she was giving Sadef. Meanwhile, Zainab begins packing her belongings, determined to leave the mansion for good. Serhat calls and warns her that if she is not home that night, he will have no choice but to place Kader in social services. Zainab replies that despite everything, she knows he could never do such a thing because he is still a good man. She says goodbye and turns around. The masked intruder suddenly appears behind her and strikes her over the head with a gun, knocking her unconscious. Still on the call, Serhat asks her if she is okay, but there's no response. At the hospital, Kader tells Hayal that her mum has woken up. Before she can question her further, the nurse announces that Barak has finally regained consciousness. Savim immediately calls Sihan, asking him and Azra to come to the hospital at once. Stunned by the news, Sihan wants to know what will happen now Barak is awake. Ilkum quickly phones Serhat with the incredible news. Overwhelmed, he pulls his car over to process what he has just heard. Serhat goes to the mansion and discovers Zainab lying unconscious on the floor. Horrified, Serhat rushes to her side, lifts her into his arms, and desperately begs her to stay with him. Hayal becomes increasingly confused after Kader excitedly says, "My mum woke up." Although Savim insists Kader simply misspoke because she is a child, Hayal cannot shake the feeling that something about what she said is strange. Meanwhile, Serhat rushes an injured Zainab to the hospital after finding her unconscious in the mansion. On the way, Zainab explains that she did not fall down the stairs as someone wearing a mask attacked her from behind. She suspects the intruder knew the mansion's alarm code, leading Serhat to conclude that Barak's mysterious lover is behind the break-in. Convinced the masked man returned to retrieve something hidden inside the house, Serhat vows to make him pay. Elsewhere, after hearing that Barak has regained consciousness, Sihan secretly sends a text message informing an unknown person. The unknown man sends a message quickly to a mysterious woman, who is ordered to take action before Barak reveals the truth. At the hospital, the doctor confirms that Barak has regained her memory. She remembers every member of her family and recalls the mysterious man who attacked her before the accident. Relieved that Serhat apparently never exposed her secret to their daughters, Barak immediately asks to see Hayal and Ilkum. The emotional reunion leaves everyone relieved as Barak embraces her daughters, telling them how much she loves them. However, Kader, who quietly watches from the doorway, is left heartbroken when Barak ignores her completely and makes it clear she wants to see only her immediate family. Meanwhile, Tibet receives the stolen bag from the masked intruder. Tibet pays the man extra money and orders him to disappear without leaving a trace, but before that he found out the man attacked a woman. Although Barak warmly welcomes Azra and later Sihan into her room, she is noticeably relieved that Serhat has not arrived yet. At the same time, Serhat reviews the mansion's security footage with Zainab, showing her the masked man carrying a bag out of the house. He believes the stolen bag contains the answers to everything and that Barak is the only person who can explain why someone risked breaking into the mansion to retrieve it. Zainab wants them to keep looking for Kader's father, but Serhat informs her she won't be leaving until the tests come out. The doctor confirms that Zainab's CT scan is clear and advises her to return for a follow-up in 2 days. As they leave, Zainab reminds Serhat that once Kader's father is identified, she will finally leave the mansion. Serhat admits that the day has finally come since Barak is awake. Ebru refuses to leave her job, insisting she cannot lose her opportunity because of Mustafa's problems. Her family hopes Zainab's departure from the Tekrar mansion will finally allow them to leave the family's troubles behind. Serhat tells Zainab not to mention the attack to anyone and promises to tighten security around the house. Zainab, despite everything Barak has done, asks him to control his emotions because Barak has survived a terrible ordeal. Still upset after being ignored, Kader sadly tells Zainab that Barak neither hugged her nor called her daughter. Zainab gently comforts the little girl, assuring her that the room was crowded and asking her to be patient a little longer. Unknown to everyone, the mysterious woman sent by Tibet disguises herself as a nurse and enters Barak's hospital room. Pretending to collect another blood sample, she injects Barak with a substance and quietly warns her to remain silent if she wants to stay alive before slipping away moments before the police arrive to question her. Later, tension erupts in the hospital cafeteria when Sevim demands that Zainab and Kader leave. Furious, Zainab accuses Sihan of abusing Azra and insists Mustafa was only trying to protect her. Sevim refuses to believe the accusation, while Azra, terrified of Sihan, denies everything. Heartbroken, Zainab realizes Azra is too frightened to tell the truth. After the police conclude that Barak's accident was simply an accident, Serhat finally confronts his wife alone. He tells her that while she slept, he spent months wondering what he had done to deserve such betrayal. Barak tearfully apologizes and begs for another chance, claiming the affair happened only once. Serhat refuses to forgive her and demands to know the identity of Kader's father. To his frustration, Barak insists that it is better if no one ever discovers the truth, forcing doctors to intervene after Serhat angrily loses control. Later, Kader asks Zainab when she will finally be able to call Barak Mum, and when she will meet her real father. Zainab promises that the answers will come soon, although she is just as desperate to learn the truth herself. Sevim tells Azra and Sihan to have a baby. Sihan thinks Azra should start IVF treatment since they can't have it naturally. He says that it is time they had a child of their own. Although Azra hesitates, Sihan tells her to begin researching fertility clinics, insisting that a baby is the only thing missing from their perfect family. That night, Zainab asks Serhat whether Barak finally revealed Kader's father. Disappointed, Serhat tells her that Barak refused to say a word. Unknown to them, Ilkum secretly listens to their conversation by leaving her phone behind with Hail connected on the call. However, Zainab quickly realizes what Ilkum is doing and changes the subject before either sister overhears the truth. As they continue talking privately, Zainab criticizes Serhat for blindly defending his family, especially Sihan, whom she believes is an abusive husband. Although Serhat insists Sihan loves Azra, he eventually agrees they are getting nowhere by arguing. Serhat reveals that he has already signed Barak's divorce papers while she was in a coma and has no intention of remaining married to her. Determined to uncover the final piece of the puzzle, he tells Zainab that he has tapped Barak's phone and is convinced that she will eventually contact Kader's father, and when she does, the truth will finally come to light.